From the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage. Tonight's East Coast Conference matchup features the Mercy College Mavericks taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, joined by my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. And Nick, we are coming off of a thrilling Dolphins victory in CSI's last game. We'll see if they can follow up the excitement from that game here tonight.
Absolutely, Joe. Really exciting game. Huge victory, 92-88 over Bridgeport in double overtime. Dolphins never even had the lead until the first overtime, had to tie it. Gia Esposito had a huge three to tie the game at the end of the first part of the game, which was regulation, the fourth quarter. Naomi Masenge had a huge layup to tie it to end the first overtime, and then Christina Arvelo was tremendous in overtime, putting it away as the Dolphins won. But the Dolphins were led, of course, by the EST of the ECC. Not only was she the ECC Rookie of the Week, she was the ECC Player of the Week and the Met Basketball Writers Player of the Week, and that, of course, was Jenalise Alarcon, who had a tremendous game, 32 points and 17 rebounds.
Alarcon with a season-defining game. Right now, a career-defining game for Alarcon. She was huge in the Dolphins matchup with the Purple Knights this past weekend. You also mentioned other standouts, including Christina Arvelo, who at one point in that second overtime scored 8 consecutive points for the Dolphins to open up that overtime period. Gia Esposito and Lizzie LaFaro also played extremely well. You mentioned Esposito's game-tying three-pointer at the end of regulation. LaFaro also played very well, scored the basketball efficiently. Despite only playing 22 minutes, she was playing through an injury suffered during that game.
Yeah, LaFaro was injured there in the middle of the second half. Came out of the game for a while. Had to check into the game at the first overtime, just basically limping because Arvelo was hurt. They didn't have enough bodies. But she played well, and now looked to be at full strength to the Dolphins. Had a lot of players out last game as well. Ashley Lambert back in the lineup. She's leading the team in scoring this season. We'll see what she does tonight.
That should be huge for the College of Staten Island. With Lambert sitting out that one game, she was surpassed for the team leading scoring by Jenalise Alarcon, who, as you mentioned, received East Coast Conference honors as well as Met Basketball Writers Association honors this past week. So a big week for the Dolphins in terms of those accolades. But for the College of Staten Island in that game against the Purple Knights, they really stepped up their game, shooting the basketball, especially during the 2 overtime periods. But in that game, the Dolphins also set a season high in three-pointers made and attempted. Perhaps a bit of a turnaround coming for the Dolphins in the shooting department, where they have struggled a bit this season.
Yeah, Joe, overtime, they were fantastic. They only missed 3 shots, 5 for 6 in the first overtime, 3 for 5 in the second overtime. When it counted, the Dolphins made the baskets that they had to make. And all season, the shooting has been a bit of an issue, but that's because the Dolphins have continued to play trailing, getting off to bad starts, but they overcame it on Saturday, and they came away with the victory, and the three-point shooting was a key, of course.
No doubt about that. We mentioned the huge three by Esposito, a couple of huge threes by Arvelo in the second overtime, and the Dolphins connecting on 11 of their 32 three-point attempts on Saturday against Bridgeport. But I did mention the Dolphins shooting on the season, only 34% from the field and 32% from downtown so far in 2021, 2022. They've also struggled a bit on the glass, being out-rebounded by about 8 per game. So those are 2 areas the team certainly is looking to improve upon entering tonight's matchup with the Mavericks.
Yeah, rebounding is surprising because Alarcon has dominated the boards against every opponent this season, averaging close to 10 rebounds per game, has gotten up to almost 30 as we saw earlier this season. So they're going in the right direction, obviously, as they're -8 now. They're improving, and they need to get that back in the positive, or at least at 0, and that's going to lead to some more victories here this season.
So with a couple of minutes left before the introduction of starters and the playing of the national anthem, we will shift our attention to CSI's opponent tonight, the Mercy College Mavericks. They come in with a 6-6 record, but they are unbeaten in conference play coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, Joe, have mercy. 4-0 in the ECC this season. Their last game is 61-57 win over Malloy. Very impressive in-conference record for them this season.
No doubt about that. And in their last game, you mentioned, took on Malloy 61-57, a victory for the Mavericks. So both of these teams coming into tonight's matchup having won their last game. And for the Mavericks in their last matchup with the Lions, it was Tasha Bender and Kelly Nudd leading the way offensively. They both shot the ball extremely well and scored it well for the Mavericks against Malloy.
Yeah, Dolphins are going to have to get in their faces and play some tough defense because they put up most of their team's points, combining for almost 40 points. Great 1-2 punch there for Mercy.
And leading the way in scoring for the Mavericks is Katie Wall. Wall, a bit of a struggle against Malloy in their last matchup with the Lions, but for the Mavericks, they typically rely upon Wall to lead the way offensively. She is their leading scorer, and that's someone else the Dolphins need to focus on at the defensive end tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. She's averaging 15.8 points per game. Bender, as we mentioned, averaging 14.8 points per game. So they have a three-headed monster here, Mercy. Dolphins are going to have to boggle down on defense, not allow too many open shots. And Mercy, pretty solid from the field, 38% field goal shooting this season, but they have struggled from three-point range, shooting under 30%.
Two teams shooting below the 40% mark from the field entering tonight's game, so we could be in for a bit of a defensive matchup after we were treated to a 180-point outburst in our last game covered here at home, the Dolphins scoring a season-high 92. Of course, it took 2 overtimes to get there, but we could be in for a very defensive-oriented game here this evening.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I want to give a shout-out to Brianna Moore, who came in and played some solid minutes, especially defensively, wreaked some havoc for the Dolphins. So she was tremendous in the paint. We'll see how many minutes she gets here because obviously a lot of the injured players are back or the players that were out with illness. So Dolphins here, they're going to have to continue their great defensive efforts.
Well, Moore gives the Dolphins some much-needed size on the interior. She is the tallest Dolphin, played significant minutes against Bridgeport. But as you said, Nick, the Dolphins getting Ashley Lambert back tonight. They're also getting Lola Pomenko back on the bench tonight. So after a game against Bridgeport where the Dolphins were short on bodies, they should be at full strength against the Mavericks today.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that game, Esposito got her first start of the season, and it paid off in spades. Of course, we said 22 points, the big game-tying 3. And she was the predominant ball handler. Arvello got those 8 points in overtime, but a lot of options on the court today for the Dolphins. And look for a lot of three-point shots from Lambert, especially in the corner, which has been her specialty all season long.
No doubt about that. The Mavericks would be wise to close out on Lambert in the corner. And during today's pregame, we threw a lot of stats at you from the Dolphins' last game. Those stats coming courtesy of our friend Louis Matrone, who is watching at home tonight. So a shout-out for Louis as promised. And with that, we will head to break. Coming up next, East Coast Conference Basketball. The College of Staten Island takes on Mercy College from the Tank right here on CSI Sportsnet.
NCAA Division II Community Engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898. The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Be sure to check out the Kettle Black's monthly calendar of events, only at kettleblackbar.com.
And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Durst on the call of tonight's NCAA Division II women's basketball matchup between the College of Staten Island and Mercy College. The Dolphins come in with a record of 3-8. They are 1-3 in conference play. The 6-6 Mavericks come in an unbeaten 4-0 against the ECC. So with the starting lineups tonight, my broadcast partner, Nick Durst.
All right, Joe, first up for the Mercy College women's basketball team, the Mavericks, number 1, Tasha Bender, the senior guard, who is 5'7". Number 3, the junior guard, Katie Wall, coming in at 5'6". Number 15, Maria Tedesco, the sophomore forward, at 5'11". Number 20, Kelly Nudd, the junior forward, at 5'11". And number 21, Asia Talib, the junior guard, coming in at 5'8". Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, for your CSI Dolphins, number 3, Noemia Masinge, the freshman forward. Number 13, Jenelise Alarcon, the freshman forward. Number 14, Lizzie LaFaro, the freshman guard. Number 15, the sophomore guard, Christina Arvello. And number 24, Gia Esposito, the sophomore. Joe, interesting to note here, Esposito, after a good game, stays in the starting lineup.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Nick. We mentioned Esposito during the pregame. She had a standout performance against Bridgeport back on Saturday, along with Jenelise Alarcon and Lizzie LaFaro. Esposito had 22 points on 8 of 20 from the floor, 5 of 15 from downtown. So Esposito remains in the starting lineup. The Dolphins' second leading scorer, Ashley Lambert, is back on the bench for today's game, and she will be coming off of the bench for the College of Staten Island tonight against the Mavericks. We do expect to see her play in this game as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nicole Sarcone playing around with the rotation here with Esposito getting her second start of the season. She always catered for instant offense, but you know what? Ashley Lambert, Joe, is able to do the same thing with her prolific three-point shooting. Should be interesting to see how the rotation is managed here. Mercy and the Dolphins getting ready for tip-off right here, right now in the tank.
The Dolphins hoping to hand the Mavericks their first conference defeat of the season. It will be a tall task for the College of Staten Island against a Mercy team that plays very solid defense as we await tip-off. The officials conferring from one side of the floor to the other as they await the thumbs up from the third official, and we are set to get underway from the tank. Masinge will jump against Tedesco, and the tip went to Mercy, and they were barely able to save it as the Mavericks keep it in bounds, and will have the first possession of the night. This is Bender swinging it over to the left wing. Wall working against Arvello. Feed inside goes to Nudd. A bounce pass underneath for Tedesco. Back to Nudd. Kick out to Bender for 3. That shot too long and rebounded by Masinge.
Good job there by the Dolphins to force a poor shot.
This is Christina Arvello swinging it over to Masinge. Now Esposito. 15 on the shot clock. Esposito sent it up top to LaFaro. An open 3 from the top of the arc is no good.
LaFaro, left leg, has more tape. That's where she got injured last game.
That is Tedesco, too strong off the window and rebounded by LaFaro. We mentioned it during the pregame, Nick. Neither of these teams shoots the ball particularly well. Both of us expecting a defensive-oriented game tonight. We'll see if either of those teams out there on the floor can break the trend. This is Arvello on the drive. Sends it into the corner for Masinge. She thought about the jumper. 7 to shoot for the Dolphins. This is LaFaro. And LaFaro has the ball stripped away, and now the Mavericks have numbers. Here comes Bender. Bender straight to the rim. Left-handed layup, no good. That's rebounded by Nudd, and she lays it up and in for the evening's first points.
Nudd coming in here today off a strong game her last time out. 5'11", so Alarcon very used to having her way down there in the paint, but Nudd much taller than her.
Alarcon sends it out to Esposito. She steps back beyond the arc for a 3, and that rattles out. But Arvello comes flying in, nearly took the rebound away from Katie Wall, and then the Mavericks turn it over. Good effort there by Christina Arvello to earn the Dolphins another possession. She now looks to drive, takes it straight to the rim, and she lays it in over the outstretched arm of Asia Tlaib.
Beautiful move there by Arvello to take it to the basket and lay it up and in, get the Dolphins on the board.
A great sequence there for Christina Arvello, who caps it off with the Dolphins' first basket. And Esposito comes away with a strip there. She takes it away from Tlaib. Esposito takes it toward the baseline and kicks it out to Masinge. She drives off the shot fake, dumps it off to Alarcon, and her reverse layup is good.
Unbelievable, Joe. First off, what a job by G. Esposito on defense to steal the ball, and Alarcon gets the basket while having to shoot from under the net. Incredibly difficult shot, but she makes it.
You said it, Nick. A tough reverse layup by Alarcon, but she has shown the ability to finish those shots inside. Dolphins lead 4-2. This is Bender driving to her left, and she barrels over Masinge, but blocking foul was the call underneath.
Certainly a lot of contact there. And Bender will go to the line for the first free throws of the game.
2 shots for Taysha Bender as the Mavericks look to even up the score at 4. And that first free throw too strong off back iron. Only 6 points up on the scoreboard, nearly 3 minutes into this first quarter. Bender's second free throw on its way, and that rattles out. So Bender goes 0 of 2 from the line, and here come the Dolphins. This is LaFaro on the right wing. She drives and looked to kick it out, but nowhere to go with that ball. Here come the Mavericks back the other way. Bender pulls it back. Crossover. Good defense by Masinge. This is Tlaib. Back out to Nudd, and now Wall. Wall feeds it inside to Tedesco, and she's called for traveling.
First travel of the game, Joe. We've seen a lot of those this season on this court. First of the game here, usually whatever team limits their travels ends up in the positive as far as the scoring total.
Dolphins have been better than the opposition, avoiding turnovers by slim margins so far this season, about half a turnover per game in CSI's favor on the year. This is Alarcon for Esposito on the wing. 15 on the shot clock. Alarcon gets it back, looks to drive, takes it right to the basket, but can't finish. She grabs her own rebound, and the putback attempt is too strong.
A lot of contact down there. And again, Kelly Nudd's height giving some issues to the Dolphins.
That's a tough shot missed by Wall. Then the follow is also no good by Tedesco. This is Kaya Johnson, who just checked in for CSI with the ball. Now Alarcon sends it to Arvello. Arvello wants a screen from Masinge. She gets it, and now looks to drive. Kick out into the corner for Alarcon, and she knocks down the 3.
The EST of the ECC. Strongest, quickest, tallest. What a three-point shot there, Joe. We saw her have a big 3 in the big win on Saturday. Not something you're used to seeing, but great job there from the corner.
And the Mavericks answer right back with a three-pointer of their own. That was Kelly Nudd.
Nothing but net from Kelly Nudd there, responding with a 3 of her own.
7-5 our score as we approach the halfway mark in the first quarter. This is Johnson. Now Alarcon, top of the arc, feet inside for Masinghe. And Noemia nearly finishing through contact, but she was fouled.
Noemia almost got that one to fall, but she will head to the free throw line here, looking to extend the Dolphins' lead.
Well, you said it during the pregame, Nick. The Dolphins have been prone to falling behind early in games so far this season. They have not done that here today. They lead by 2 and a chance for more from the line for Masinghe. Her first free throw is up and good.
Making it look easy there with that free throw from Masinghe.
One more to come from the line for Masinghe as she looks to give the Dolphins a 4-point lead. And Noemia makes it 2 of 2 from the line as Brianna Moore will check into the game for CSI.
Yeah, Joe, you mentioned Moore in the pregame because she had a really good stint on Saturday defensively, and she's coming in here right now to maybe neutralize the height of Tedesco and Nutt.
Mavericks now trailing by 4. This is Bender on the drive. She is met by Moore, and Moore is whistled for the foul.
See here as the call is block.
Dolphins foul, number 12, Brianna Moore. Her first.
And we are headed to a media timeout with our score 9-5 in favor of the College of Staten Island. CSI with a first quarter lead when we come back on the other side of this break.
Stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape. We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
And we're back from the College of Staten Island. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Durst. Dolphins leading Mercy College by a score of 9-5. And Nick, once again, a good start for the Dolphins in this game as we've seen them struggle early in games on many occasions this season. Not so tonight.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at some of the replays here as Arvello got things started early with that wild layup and to put the Dolphins on the board initially.
And we'll get a look at another Dolphins score right here as Noemia Masinghe with a nice feed underneath Jenelise Alarcon. And Nick, Alarcon has done it all so far in this game in just over 5 minutes plus.
Yep, big three-pointer here from the corner. Not known for a three-point shooting, but back-to-back games now with a three-pointer made.
So Alarcon, building upon her performance on Saturday, has done a great job for the Dolphins at the offensive end, and that has continued early on in tonight's matchup with Mercy College as the Mavericks have now missed 3 free throws early in this game. They're 0 of 3 from the line.
Yeah, Joe, you have to wonder what impact the CSI Dolphins cheerleading team is having here with their pom-poms making some noise. So far it's working out here as Mercy is not doing well from the line, but good to see the cheerleading squad back together here and making their season debut in the tank.
Tank filling out nicely after the start of this game as the Dolphins knock down another three-pointer. That was Christina Arvello.
Another 3 for Arvello. Again, as we mentioned in the pregame, had those huge 8 points in the second overtime on Saturday to lead the Dolphins to victory.
On the pull-up, that is Asia Talib bringing the Mavericks back to within 5.
Nice move there by Talib, able to get that shot up and knocks it down.
CSI by 5. This is Arvello in the corner. Now brings it up to the top of the arc and hands off to Esposito. 15 to shoot. And Esposito freed up by the screen. Her mid-range pull-up is short. This is Wall with it, working against Esposito. Feed inside for Nutt and back up top to Tedesco as we have a travel called once again.
Second travel of the game for the Mercy Mavericks. Well, some substitutions here. We'll get you caught up on those, but it looks like Ashley Lambert's going to make her debut in the game here. Kaya Johnson on with her. Alarcon, Arvello, and Moore for the Dolphins.
For the Mavericks, it was Brianne Santos and Jamie Waldron entering the game. Alarcon swings it to Johnson. Johnson surveys the floor, looking for somewhere to go with it. She finds Lambert, who drives off the shot fake. Now Alarcon in the left corner, just a bit strong, and that is rebounded by Talib. Bender has it. She directs traffic from well beyond the arc. This is Santos. Now Nudd looking to feed it inside for Waldron, and she goes right at Moore, who comes up with the block.
Moore having none of that, using her wingspan there, and rejects the shot.
You said it. Brianna Moore having none of that shot attempt, as the Dolphins nearly turned the ball over right there. They have 15 to shoot. This is Johnson, who receives the screen from Alarcon. Johnson into the corner for Lambert, and getting a piece was Talib.
Good job there by Talib to get a hand on that shot from Lambert.
Good closeout as Lambert looked to have adequate space to shoot it. And that shot by Kelly Nudd, not even close.
Nudd off the side of the backboard there. So good defense by Alarcon.
Nudd took that shot from a tough position along the baseline and came up empty off glass. 12 to shoot for the Dolphins. This is Arvello. She takes it to the free throw line, and that is blocked. I think Talib got a piece of that shot as well, but we have a blocking foul called underneath.
We'll see Lizzie LaFarcon back on. I was going to say, Joe, it's very rare that we see both Lizzie and Gia on the bench. Usually one of them is the predominant ball handler. And Johnson to the bench now. LaFaro will most likely run the points again.
Lambert inbounds to LaFaro as the shot clock ticks down inside 20. And on the kick out, the Dolphins nearly turned it over again, but they get away with it. CSI has numbers right now. Lambert is left wide open for three, and that one's off the front rim, no good. Save made by Bender, and she will bring it up. Bender gets a screen from Nudd and now gives it back to Nudd. This is Talib on the drive, met by a pair of Dolphins, and she draws the foul.
Talib going to head to the line there. Nice shot by her to throw that shot up so that she was able to head to the line. But as you mentioned before, Mavericks not doing too well from the free throw line right now, Jim.
Mercy still looking for their first made free throw. They are 0 of 4. And that will be their first made attempt from the line. 1 of 5 for the Mavericks. Neither team shooting well from the field either, as Mavericks miss yet another free throw. It's now 1 of 6.
Mercy head coach Scott Legis cannot be happy with his team missing 5 free throws. That's a difference in the game right now with the score.
This is Arvello, 12 on the shot clock. Now Alarcon nearly had it taken away. This is Lambert, and a blocking foul was called underneath as Lambert found a wide open Arvello. That shot will not count. And that's a good foul, as it does not put the Dolphins in a bonus situation.
Third foul here only.
I mentioned the poor shooting for the Mavericks, 3 of 10. For the Dolphins, 4 of 12 in the early going. And that pass was tipped along the baseline, so the Dolphins will inbound again with 19 on the shot clock.
And Joe, that ball actually left the gym. It went all the way down the tunnel there, out into the hallway. Good job by the referee to retrieve the basketball.
Dolphins throw it well beyond the arc, and Alarcon receives that pass. 15 to shoot for CSI. This is LaFaro looking to drive to her right, and she throws up a wild shot, but Alarcon grabs it out of the air and draws a foul on the follow-up.
Yeah, LaFaro must have thought she got fouled there since she threw up that wild shot, but Alarcon able to grab that, and she gets fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line, and now it's the Mavericks' 4th foul.
It looked like a travel was imminent. That might have been why LaFaro forced up that shot. And Alarcon's first free throw rattles in.
Alarcon now with 6 points.
Gabrielle Racine entering the game for Mercy College at that last horn. ahead of the first free throw by Alarcon. CSI leads by 5 inside of 1 minute to play in the first quarter, and Moore got a hand on that pass and knocks it out of bounds. 17 to shoot.
Yeah, Joe, Dolphins just have a whole different feel when Moore is in there defensively. Other teams fear going into the paint, and we saw a nice block from her earlier.
Kick out goes to Nudd in the corner, under 10 to shoot, as Bender takes it right at Brianna Moore. And we'll see who was charged with the foul. It is Moore.
Second foul for Moore, so she's going to probably third foul, so she's going to check out of the game here.
Moore certainly making her presence felt underneath the rim, but she's committed 3 fouls. And
Dabby Gazmar checks into the game for Moore.
Just 5 minutes played for Brianna Moore, and she now has 3 personals. As you said, Nick, Dabby Gazmar will replace Moore with 29.2 on the clock in the first quarter. Bender gets the first of 2 free throws to go. And that one did not hit the rim, so Dolphins will inbound.
You don't see that too often on the free throws, Joe.
No, you don't, as Bender is now 1 of 6 from the line in the opening quarter. Shot clock is off. Dolphins have the last shot of the quarter if they want it. This is Lambert. Arvello swings it to LaFaro. She drives to her right. Floater in the lane, off the back rim and no good, but Alarcon grabs another offensive rebound and lays it up and in.
Who else, Joe? Who else but Alarcon?
And that is Nudd on the three-point attempt. She throws up an air ball, and that will bring the first quarter to a close. The Dolphins leading 15-9.
Yeah, Joe, tremendous job here by the Dolphins in that first quarter. Going into second quarter with a rare lead. Typically, they're always fighting from behind. Even in the game when they won the double overtime game, they were not leading until overtime. So good job here by Nicole Sarcone and her squad to get things started here.
And a big reason why CSI finds themselves in front, the play of Jennalise Alarcon, as you see her grab the offensive board off of that drive attempt by LaFaro. Alarcon puts it back up and in, putting the Dolphins ahead by 6. And our score when we come back from this break to start the second quarter, 15-9 in favor of the College of Staten Island.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. And I could sit in the book bag, like facing backwards and with like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
And we're back here on the ECC Network with the start of the second quarter between the College of Staten Island and Mercy College. Dolphins with a 6-point lead after one, due in large part to the play of Jennalise Alarcon.
Yeah, Joe, she showed off her prowess at the end of the first quarter, getting the offensive rebound and laying up in a tough shot, getting the Dolphins their 15th point.
That is LaFaro on the three, and she gets the roll off the front rim and off glass. Dolphins with their largest lead of 9 points.
Lucky Lizzie LaFaro, L to the third. Good job there by Lizzie to take the open shot, and she's lucky as that ball rolls in.
Nice to hear you cracking yourself up, Nick, as lucky Lizzie LaFaro gives the Dolphins a 9-point lead, and this is Wall on the kickout to leave open on the baseline. Her mid-range shot no good, and rebounded by Masinghe.
Masinghe in with Arvello, Alarcon, LaFaro, and Lambert. That's the 5 on the court right now for the Dolphins.
Arvello gives it up to LaFaro. She thought about the three, instead drives. She finds Arvello cutting to the rim, but Christina couldn't finish the teardrop.
Nice pass there, but rough shot attempt by Christina.
That was Kelly Nudd for three, too strong, and rebounded by the Dolphins. LaFaro sends it out to Alarcon, now Lambert. Arvello, defended by Wall, gets a screen from Masinge. LaFaro will try another three. That one off the mark and rebounded by Tedesco. Here comes Wall. She feeds it to Nudd. Now Tedesco. And she throws up a wild shot. And that was...
I think that was knocked out of bounds by LaFaro there, so potentially she'll be credited with the block on that shot attempt.
I think she has to, Nick, because if that wasn't blocked, that's Dolphins basketball. 0. Kayla Halverson into the game for Mercy College as well. She checks in for the first time. This is Nudd in the right corner, 15 to shoot. Wall will try a three from the top of the arc, and that is off, rebounded by Alarcon.
Alarcon not expecting that pass, though. Gets her hands up. Sends it back to LaFaro.
That's another three-point attempt, and Gia Esposito knocks it down from the right corner.
Gia picking up where she left off in the last game, knocking down three-pointers.
Now the three-point shooting of CSI has gotten them off to a good start here in the second quarter as the Mavericks are forced to call timeout. Here's a look at that first Dolphins three, which opened up the scoring here in the second quarter, as I think I may have clipped it at the wrong spot, but I promise you'll see it as Lizzie LaFaro opened up the second quarter scoring for CSI with a three-pointer from the right wing. Here it comes as LaFaro had to think about it for a bit. She gave it up to Alarcon initially, but finally gets it back and knocks down the three off of the friendly roll. So
L cubed there. Lucky
L
Lizzie
cubed.
LaFaro.
I like it, Nick, as the Dolphins at that time took what was their largest lead of 9 points. But CSI now leads by 12 thanks to this make by Gia Esposito.
Yeah, Esposito from the corner. She shows it. She's saying, give it to me. And a nice three there. The Dolphins out to their biggest lead of the game right now. 21-9.
A double-digit first-half lead for the College of Staten Island. We will see if they can hold on to it. But as the two teams break huddle, we will not take a commercial break. And Nick and I will stay right here. And Nick, we mentioned it coming out of the first quarter. A great start for Jenalise Alarcon coming off of a 32-point, 17-rebound effort in CSI's last game. She already has 8 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, Alarcon, there's not much more to say other than, she's going for back-to-back ECC Player of the Week honors here. And she's off to a great start this week.
For the Mavericks, an uncharacteristically poor shooting performance so far. You have to think they will turn things around, as that won't help. Mercy turns the ball over right there, but the Mavericks so far, only 3 of 15 from the floor.
Rough shooting for the Mavericks at this point.
This is Masinge at the top of the arc. Now Johnson, 15 to shoot, as Esposito uses the Masinge screen. Alarcon in the corner, drives baseline, kick out. Johnson, wide open mid-range shot, and that is money.
Well, Joe, what a pass over to Johnson, but when Johnson's open close to the basket or in the mid-range, she's going to shoot it, and she's almost automatic, and she knocks in the big two there.
You have to love the ball movement if you're a member of the CSI coaching staff or a fan of this Dolphins team. They have swung it around very well in this game. That last possession, just another example. As Nudd tries another three, and that one's not close.
Nothing falling right now for the Mavericks. Another missed shot from downtown.
Nudd just 1 of 4 from three-point range as Masinge can't finish. Alarcon on the putback is no good, but she adds another rebound to her total right there as LaFaro gets right to the rim, and that shot is off.
2 offensive rebounds in that possession by Alarcon. Unfortunately, Dolphins not able to capitalize on all the extra attempts and can't have a shot fall.
Dolphins on that last possession had multiple opportunities, couldn't make anything of it, but the Mavericks give the ball right back to CSI off their latest turnover.
Ashley Lambert checking back into the game. LaFaro to the bench for a breather.
Esposito will bring it up for CSI. Her team leading by 14 points. This is Esposito, left wing, puts up a three, and that is rebounded by Halverson. Here comes Wall back the other way. She looked to take it coast to coast, but the Mavericks turn it over yet again. And for Mercy College, that is turnover number 7.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions with a turnover there. Not ideal for the Mavericks, and it's a big reason why, along with their poor free throw shooting, as to why they're trailing in this one.
Mercy really struggling, taking care of the basketball right now in addition to poor shooting. As Esposito is double-teamed, she kicks it out to Lambert. Lambert drives, throws up a wild shot. That may have been partially blocked, and Bernard wisely saves that ball. On the drive, this is Wall. Left-handed layup, no good. And we have a foul underneath, and it is against the Mavericks.
Joe, wide open shot attempt there. The lane opened up. Mavericks unable to convert a shot. It's been quite a number of minutes now here since Mercy has scored a basket.
That is Lambert for three, and that one rattles out. Rebounded by Masinge, and she had that ball stripped away, but it wound up with Alarcon, who couldn't finish. Big question, Nick. Was that a rebound, or was the ball stripped away?
I think it was stripped, but we'll have to check with the official score.
That was my thought as well, as Johnson clearly traveled, but she was ahead of the field with a wide-open layup and bobbled the ball. That led to the traveling violation.
Alarcon, I believe, has 8 rebounds right now and 8 points. Not sure what they gave her on that one, but I think it was not a rebound. I think it was just a loose ball.
I agree with you, Nick, but they have her for 9 rebounds right now. We'll check the play-by-play. They gave her a rebound, Nick. That's Wall for 3. No good. Rebound is tipped and pulled in by Stanovic. On the drive now, Stanovic can't finish the layup, and that's rebounded by Alarcon. There's number 10.
All right, Joe. 2 more points to a double-double, and it's still 4 minutes left in the first half.
Alarcon all over the glass in this game. She now has the ball as she takes it to the rim and finishes off glass. So Genelise Alarcon with a double-double less than 6 minutes into the second quarter.
The EST of the ECC, might as well just start calling her Mrs. Double-Double.
As Johnson comes away with the steal, and she was fouled. Now, I'm not sure about that call.
Yeah, Joe, it could have went either way, but Dolphins are going to be the beneficiary here. And Mercy has not scored in quite a while here, Joe. So this is a great opportunity for the Dolphins to take advantage of this and make their lead even more.
Well, Knicks, the Mavericks haven't scored since the first quarter.
Yeah.
Score after one was 15-9. So the Dolphins with a 10-point advantage here in the second.
There's some PA issues there with some noise coming out during Johnson's first free throw attempt that she missed.
And Johnson goes 0 of 2 from the line, but Masinge pulls in the rebound. Trying to find out exactly when the last Mercy basket was, as Esposito's 3 is no good. Masinge snatches away the rebound, and the Mavericks are whistled for another foul.
Joe, the Mavericks here are getting crushed on the glass, especially the offensive glass. Dolphins giving themselves a lot of second chance opportunities here, especially late in the second quarter.
In the game, Nick, the Mavericks only have 5 made field goals. Make that 3. 3 made field goals and 2 free throws, as Masinge can't connect on the first attempt from the line. But, Nick, the Mavericks' last made field goal came with 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Their last points came from the free throw line with 29 seconds to go in the first.
So over 10 minutes of gameplay time here. The Dolphins have denied the Mavericks a score. Dolphins here coming up empty-handed on 4 straight free throws, but another rebound there by, of course, Alarcon, and now she's fouled again.
Alarcon with 10 points and 11 rebounds. It seems like the Mavericks would be in the penalty just in the last minute or two, but they only have 4 team fouls. This is Lambert in the corner. Now Esposito. She gets a screen from Alarcon. And now Lambert has it again. 10 on the shot clock as Alarcon looks to drive. And Alarcon's layup no good. Masinge to the floor. She is swarmed by Mavericks, and it will be Mercy College basketball.
Well, Joe, missed opportunity there the last minute for the Dolphins. A lot of opportunities to score, and they came up empty-handed.
Just under 3.5 minutes to go in the first half, and the Mavericks are just a small run away from making this a game again. The Dolphins only 25 points here in the first half, but Mavericks hoping to crack double digits right there, and they throw up an air ball as Bender came up empty on the three-point attempt.
Not a good look there for the Mavericks. Unfortunately, they missed that open three-pointer. 3 minutes just about left here in the first half, but you're right, Joe. The Mavericks are not too far out of this one, all things considered.
This is Esposito left open for 3, and her shot is short. LaFaro got fingertips on that ball, but it's rebounded by the Mavericks. Barnard has it. Now Bender. Stanovic on the drive. Pull-up jump shot is good off the window, and the Mavericks finally have their first points of the second quarter.
Jacqueline Stanovic said, enough of this. Let me use the glass. I'll knock this one in and get my team on the scoring board here in the second quarter. And now it's a 25-11 game with 2:43 left to play here in the first half.
A much-needed basket for Mercy College will send us to break with our score. The College of Staten Island 25 and Mercy 11. More NCAA Division II women's basketball when we come back here on the ECC Network.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
And we're back on CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins leading by 14 points with 2:43 on the clock in the second quarter. And for the Mavericks, I took a look during the break at their season low in points scored for a single game. That came back on December 11th at Chestnut Hill. They scored only 39 as LaFaro threw up an air ball right there, but a foul is called underneath as Alarcon battled for the rebound, and that will put the Mavericks in the penalty.
Is Alarcon going to get another rebound on that one, Joe?
I would presume no, because the foul must have occurred before the rebound was pulled in, but let's take a look at the official stats.
Nonetheless, Alarcon to the line here, already with a double-double on 10 points.
We have an aspiring official in the stands over my shoulder.
Officials apparently said the foul was on white 13, which it doesn't make sense because Alarcon's out the line. And the fan here was able to point that out to the officials that it was on blue 13.
Let's get them an officiating contract. Let's go.
So the foul was on Jacqueline Stanovic.
Alarcon's first free throw good. One more to come from the line, and she goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Dolphins back ahead by 16. No rebound awarded on that last sequence, Nick, after I checked. And Alarcon whistles for the foul right there as the Mavericks will head to the line. Kelly Nudd will attempt 2 shots.
Only the first foul the Dolphins have committed here in this quarter.
Both teams have shot the ball very poorly in this game. The Dolphins 9 of 33, but CSI with 12 more shot attempts than Mercy, as the Mavericks are 4 of 21 from the field. Dolphins out-rebounding the Mavericks on the offensive glass 12-4.
Both teams struggling from the free throw line.
And Esposito's three no good once again, but another offensive board goes to Kaya Johnson, and she feeds Jenalise Alarcon for the easy two.
Alarcon able to hammer that one home with the right hand. Lays it up and in.
That's Nudd from the mid-range, and she hits from just inside of the free throw line.
Nice job there by Nudd to come back with an answer.
Finally, looks like the Mavericks offense might be coming alive here. As LaFaro uses the screen from Alarcon, she takes it inside. Johnson, wide open mid-range shot is too long, and it's rebounded by the Mavericks. Here comes Nudd to the rim, and she can't lay it in around Alarcon, but offensive rebound belongs to Mercy. 15 to shoot for the Mavericks. Barnard trying to find somewhere to go with it. This is Nudd. She drives and is fouled.
Nudd came down hard there. Slow to get up, but she'll make her way to the free throw line.
It looks like Kelly Nudd has had enough of this deficit. She seems to be taking matters into her own hands here.
Leading the way for her team with 8 points.
Nudd 3 of 8 in the game, and with that made free throw, she's now 2 of 3 from the line. And she goes 1 of 2 from the stripe here, and Barnard saves it to Arvelo. Dolphins come back the other way as Arvelo takes it to the basket and could not finish as Johnson tipped it out of bounds.
Mercy here has a chance for 2 for 1 to end the half, and right now they're only down 14. All things considered, with that rough 10, 11-minute stretch of not scoring, they're in a solid spot, like you said earlier. Just one run, they'll be back in this game.
If you told any coach that shooting only 22%, your team would be behind by 14 at halftime, you'd probably take it. As Nudd throws one off the side of the backboard, she will try again. That was partially blocked by Alarcon, and Nudd stepped on the baseline. Great defense there from Jenalise Alarcon, and it will be Dolphins basketball.
Dolphins now have the chance for the 2 for 1 if they hurry.
Building upon that point I was just making, you tell any coach that their team is shooting 20% at the half and they're only trailing by 14, they might take it. Question is, would they feel the same way if you told them the opposition was shooting only 27%?
Yeah, Joe, shooting has not been great here today. You can make the argument the Dolphins should be up a lot more than they currently are. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, free throw shooting has not been a strong suit for both teams here, as Mercy is 4 for 12, Dolphins 5 of 10.
CSI looking to improve upon that right here, and Arvelo cannot. We said it during the pregame, Nick, that we were anticipating a more grinded-out, low-scoring affair tonight, and so far, this game has lived up to the billing as the Dolphins reach the 30-point mark just inside of 40 seconds to go in the first half. So Stanovic taking it to the rim, and she makes it look easy.
Dolphins now have the chance to hold it for the last shot if they want.
Dolphins leading by 13, and Arvelo drives into a double team. 17 seconds to go in the half. This is Johnson. Jab step. She uses the screen from Alarcon. This is Lambert in the corner, and she lost her footing, but it will be ruled Dolphins basketball with 7.2 on the clock.
Lucky break there for the Dolphins. And we'll see who gets the ball here. Most likely, Esposito will touch it. And there she goes.
The inbounder sends it up to Esposito, who dribbles around the back. She nearly lost it, but she finds Alarcon while sitting on the floor, and Jenalise drew a foul, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think that is the case, as head coach Scott Legis yelling at the referee. So, Dolphins will head to the free throw line here.
We might have a replay here, Nick, as they may check to see if that foul was committed before the half.
We'll see if they are going to come over for the replay.
We have it if they need it. And here they come.
All right, Joe. We'll let you do your magic here.
All right, let's cue it up.
We'll walk the referees through the replay review. And we will play that replay back here for you momentarily, because we'll slow down the angle as Joe is getting that ready to go for the referee. And it looks like 0.1, maybe 0.2 seconds left. Play that back again and take another look for you right here. And as you can see, it's kind of glitchy. However, she gets the ball there, and you see she gets pushed right there. Maybe around 1 second left, perhaps, when the foul is committed. Referees are consulting here. From my view, Joe, looks like it's 1.1, but we'll let the officials.
They're going to take another look at it, Nick, so we'll get that queued up in a moment. Slow it down. What you see on your screen is exactly what the officials are looking at. So Alarcon receives the pass underneath and is fouled from behind on the shot attempt. Forearm to the lower back.
So it looks like it's going to be 0.7, Joe. So good job by you on the replay. Good job by the officials to confer and get it right.
They're going to pass that information along to the scores table, and Alarcon will head to the line for CSI with 0.7 remaining on the clock. But, Nick, for the Mavericks, that's really a backbreaker. They had momentum beginning to shift in their favor a little bit toward the end of the second quarter. They had only 9 points with about 4 minutes to go in quarter number 2.
Yeah.
Have scored 8 since. The Dolphins' lead was down to 13, but now CSI with a chance to go right back up by 15. Their largest lead of the game has been 17, so when all is said and done, not much of a dent put into that CSI lead by the Mavericks.
Absolutely, Joe, as Alarcon misses that first free throw. So if she's able to knock this one down here, it'll be a nice break here for the Dolphins to get an extra point going into the half.
And Alarcon goes 1 of 2 from the line, and the Mavericks will not try and get a shot up, bringing the second quarter to a close. So our score at the half, the College of Staten Island 31, Mercy College 17. When Nick and I come back, coverage of half number 2 right back here on the ECC Network. This is CSI Sportsnet coverage of NCAA Division II women's basketball.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the ring cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
And we're back on the ECC Network. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Durst as we get set to begin the second half between the College of Staten Island and Mercy College. And Nick, the Dolphins had a pretty firm grip on the first half. CSI outscoring the Mavericks in the first quarter by 6. They led 15-9 after 1, but they really began to break things open in the second.
Yeah, Joe, overall, their free throw shooting was good there for total in the first half, but could have been better. Mercy, very poor at the free throw line, 2 of 8 in the first quarter, 2 of 4 in the second. Mercy's field goal percentage, very bad, 27.3 in the first quarter, 20 in the second. Dolphins could have blown them out and ran away with this in the second, but they only shot 21.7%, 5 of 23 in the second quarter. However, they have a big lead at this point, and a big reason why is the reigning, defending, undisputed ECC Player of the Week, Jennalise Alarcon. She shot 5 for 12 in the first quarter, 1 for 1 from three-point range, 4 for 6 from the free throw line. She had 7 offensive rebounds, 11 overall, and a total of 15 points, leading the way for the Dolphins.
For Alarcon, her double-double tonight is her third of the season. She has 15 points and 11 rebounds at the break. What a start for the Dolphins freshman. As for the rest of this CSI team, Alarcon wasn't the only one who scored the ball in the first half. Christina Arvello had 6 for the College of Staten Island, but it was really Alarcon predominantly at the offensive end for the College of Staten Island, and you would like to see CSI's offensive attack spread across some more players just a bit, but Alarcon nonetheless with a tremendous first half. And on the other side, for the Mavericks, it was Kelly Nudd leading the way in scoring with 9, but she only shot 3 of 10, a recurring theme in the first half. The poor shooting for both sides, 6 of 26 for Mercy College and 10 of 38 for CSI.
Yeah. LaFaro and Esposito only 2 for 14 combined for the Dolphins.
This is Alarcon with her first attempt of the second half, and she is rejected by Kelly Nudd and then stepped out of bounds trying to save that ball. It will be Mavericks basketball.
So quick switch of possession here to start off the second half. We'll see if Mercy was able to regroup in the locker room and if they'll come out here being able to make more shots.
On the drive, that was Tedesco, and she draws an early foul. So the Mavericks will head right to the free throw line to open up the third quarter. But Nick, as you said, coming out of halftime, they really struggled from the stripe in the first half. And for Mercy, in the opening half, only 4 of 12 from the line.
Yeah, not ideal, and that's been a huge difference in the score. But right now, at the free throw line, Tedesco knocks in her first shot.
And Tedesco makes it 2 of 2 from the line. So that pulls the Mavericks back to within 11. And the Dolphins, after really dominating in the first half, will hope to continue that here in the second half. As Esposito sends it up top to Masinge. She drives to her left and kicks out for Arvello. Swinging to the corner for Alarcon. Good defense by Nudd. As Arvello finds Alarcon with a nice bounce pass, but Alarcon is called for an offensive foul. That was a good feed from Christina Arvello to set up Jennalise underneath, but Alarcon turning into a shot attempt, barreled over the defender.
It's her second foul of the game.
One more could relegate her to the bench. That would be huge. As Talib is swatted by Esposito.
Big block there by Gia.
This is LaFaro in the right corner. She's double teamed to the top of the arc. Now looks to drive. Sends it to Masinge, who goes baseline and lays it in through the contact and one. And Katie Wall cannot believe it.
Nice job there by Masinge to make her first basket of the game.
Masinge drives from the left corner and takes it straight to the rim, finishing right through Katie Wall, who was definitely in the restricted area. But Masinge could not connect on the free throw, and Alarcon earned CSI another possession.
Good job there by Alarcon to make sure that the Dolphins are going to maintain possession.
Less than 20 to shoot for CSI, but they waste no time as Gia Esposito has another three.
Gia with her second made shot of the game, was previously 1 for 6 from downtown, 1 of 7 overall in the game.
And the Mavericks answer right back as Katie Wall buries the three over the outstretched arm of Arvello.
From the window to the wall, Katie Wall is going to ball. Nice three there by Katie.
Dolphins by 14. This is LaFaro who lost it, and possession will stay with CSI. .14 on the shot clock for the Dolphins. This is LaFaro. She'll pull it back out, 10 to shoot. And Lizzie is fouled in a position where she was not going to shoot it. Not a good foul by the Mavericks.
2 quick fouls here for the Mavericks and Dolphins as well. So fouls and free throws could come into play in this quarter.
For Maria Tedesco, that was her third personal as the Dolphins are whistled for an offensive foul ahead of the inbound. And that is Alarcon's third.
I think you're right, Joe. Alarcon's going to have to go to the bench pretty soon. We'll see if they let her ride a little longer, but looks like Lambert will be coming in for her at the next whistle. 3 fouls here for the Dolphins already this quarter.
Nick, that could prove to be a huge call against Alarcon as it looks like she's set to check out of the game. Lambert waiting to come in. And that was Barnard with the layup, and all of a sudden, the Mavericks are within 12.
Alarcon couldn't play aggressive defensively there as she did not want to pick up her 4th foul.
Alarcon certainly needs to be careful here as Esposito will use the screen, or at least it appeared she would. This is Masinge on the crossover with the drive. Can't finish, and that's rebounded by Barnard. And traveling is the call against the Mavericks, and that's a big call because that allows the Dolphins to make the substitutions they wanted.
Alarcon and LaFaro to the bench. Kaya Johnson and Ashley Lambert checking in.
Dolphins get another chance, leading by 12. And we have another offensive foul called ahead of the inbound.
Joe, 4 fouls in less than 3 minutes for the Dolphins. Putrid.
Sure, Nicole Sarcone doesn't like it as she was baffled by that latest call.
I didn't see much there, but nonetheless.
That's Nudd off back iron, and Arvello pulls in the rebound. Barnard and Masinge wound up on the floor as Lambert nearly traveled. This is Masinge. Masinge to the basket. Count it, and one as Noemia Masinge finishes through contact.
Well, as the baby and Dua Lipa might say, left foot, right foot, levitating Masinge to the basket. In the air, draws the foul, and is able to knock it down. It has the end one attempt here as we take another look at this replay, Joe.
Masinge straight to the rack, off glass, count the basket. And Noemia has one more coming up from the line. And she completes the conventional three-point play. That basket, a huge momentum swing in this quarter as the Mavericks were knocking on the door, trying to pull back to within 10, but the Dolphins with that three-point possession now lead by 15 again. This is Talib for Nudd. On the drive, that's Bender, and she contorts her body around Masinge and floats it in.
Taysha on a bender there, bending her body, contorting, twisting, and turning, and able to make the tough basket.
And Arvello is whistled for an offensive foul, and that's the Dolphins' 15th foul. So with that, the Mavericks are in the bonus from this point forward. No free throws here, but it will be Mercy basketball on the other side of this break. Dolphins leading 39-26, 6:02 on the clock here in the third quarter.
Well, for me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together, I feel like. I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
And we're back on the ECC Network. College of Staten Island leading Mercy College 39-26. It will be Mavericks basketball with 6:02 on the clock here in the third quarter, as the Dolphins have done a good job keeping Mercy at arm's length after getting out to a double-digit lead early in the first half. The Dolphins have maintained that lead since, and the Mavericks will have a chance to pull to within 10 here.
Yeah, Joe, fortunately for the Dolphins, they are in trouble with the fouls. So next foul they commit, no matter what, Mavericks will head to the line.
Barnard hands off to Wall, 12 on the shot clock as Wall drives and finds a wide-open Kelly Nudd, but she couldn't make the jumper from point-blank range.
Nudd coming up empty there. Was wide open.
Arvello to Lambert, who looks to drive baseline. And Lambert is stifled by Barnard underneath, and it will remain Dolphins basketball. A lot of aspiring officials in the crowd tonight, Nick. As Masinge receives the inbound right under the rim, gives it back to Johnson, and she finishes through the contact and one.
Well, Joe, great inbound pass there by Johnson to Masinge. Masinge gets covered, passes it over to Johnson. Johnson takes the contact and makes the shot. Fourth foul for the Mavericks.
Here's a look at that sequence. Johnson to Masinge. Back to Johnson. Count the basket, but the free throw is no good, and the Mavericks head back the other way. This is Wall. And she traveled.
Wall cannot believe it. She's saying, my foot was planted.
That won't change anything as the Dolphins inbound. For the Mavericks, that turnover is number 12. They've slowed down the rate at which they've turned the ball over here in the second half, but still, turnovers plaguing them right now as Masinge draws another foul, and with that, both teams have committed 5 fouls in this third quarter, and Noemi and Masinge will head to the line on what I believe will be the other side of a media timeout. We'll see. And both teams rise from their benches. We will head to a break. So 4:56 on the clock here in the third. Dolphins by 15, and a chance for more at the line when we come back.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
We're back here on the ECC Network. Dolphins by 15, and Noemi Masinghe is headed to the free throw line for CSI, as the Dolphins have been without their leading scorer in this game, Jennalise Alarcon, for most of this third quarter, but the rest of the CSI rotation has really picked up right where she left off, building upon the team's halftime lead.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and Masinghe has done a great job this game from the free throw line as well. Unfortunately, misses that one.
That one catches nothing but the backboard, as Masinghe is now 3 of 7 from the line. Masinghe flirting with a double-double right now. She has 7 points and 9 rebounds, but she goes 0 of 2 from the line right there. That's Barnard inside for Nudd, and she is down to the floor. Jump ball is the call, and it will remain Mavericks basketball. Mercy will inbound from along the baseline with 17 on the shot clock. Mavericks have it in the right corner. This is Talib. She'll bring it back out. That's Wall for 3, and that's off glass, but rebounded by Nudd, who throws it off the bottom of the rim, and we have another jump ball call. This time, possession will belong to the Dolphins.
Joe, it's strange. A lot of shot attempts today by Nudd have either gone off the bottom of the backboard or the side. Very interesting to see.
It's been a struggle for Nudd at the offensive end of the floor. For the season, she's a 42% shooter. As Arvelo throws up an air ball, and that's rebounded by Bender. Bender kicks out to Barnard. Open three-pointer rattles out. And did Arvelo touch it?
Officials are conferring, and it'll be Dolphins ball.
Not. I was going to try and get a look at that from here, but not a great camera angle, so we'll stay away from the replay for now.
Stanovich comes on for Bernard for the Mavericks.
Dolphins have it, still leading by 15 points. Chance to break this game open in the final 4 minutes of the third. If they can build upon this lead, it's going to be a tough road back for the Mavericks. Esposito will try the 3, off the mark. Rebound loose, and Johnson pulls it in. She finds a wide-open Arvelo. Her shot no good. Masinghe with the offensive board. Kick out to Lambert. 3 is off back iron and rebounded by Johnson. And Johnson is stuffed. Jump ball is the call, and possession belongs to Mercy.
Well, Joe, we talked about it in the pregame. The Dolphins being out-rebounded by 8 rebounds on this season definitely have closed the deficit here today, and they're back at even 0. They're out-rebounding Mercy 38-30.
Dolphins doing a nice job outperforming their season's average on the glass. And that's Bender wide open for 3, and the Mavericks needed that basket desperately.
Bender with a huge shot there, her first made 3 of the game.
Bender now 2 of 5 with 6 points. This is LaFaro who will try to answer, and Lizzie LaFaro buries it from the top of the arc.
You heard of an LLC, but that, Joe, is an LL3. Lizzie LaFaro with the big 3-pointer.
Feed inside to Nudd, and she can't finish off the spin.
Rough day of shooting for Nudd.
She's 3 of 14. I mentioned it before. She's a 42% shooter on the season. She's really struggled in this game. And that's a great feed to Ashley Lambert from LaFaro, and the Dolphins now lead by 17.
LaFaro to Lambert for the layup, and it's good.
That's Wall, deep 3-pointer, off the mark and rebounded by LaFaro. LaFaro pushes it up ahead to Lambert. Feed to Johnson in transition, and Kaya banks it in.
What a pass by Ashley Lambert to Kaya Johnson. Johnson able to lay it in. Great ball movement there. Great job by Johnson to finish.
Timeout called by the Mavericks, as we'll get another look at that last Dolphins transition basket. CSI has done a great job here in this third quarter, now approaching a 20-point lead. As you see, LaFaro snatched down that rebound, and we've seen these pinpoint accurate outlet passes from the Dolphins all year, but one more pass finds the wide open Kaya Johnson on the cut. She finishes in traffic off glass, and the Dolphins now lead by 19 points. This is their largest lead of the game.
Yeah, Joe, they came out a little sluggish here to start the first half, but a really good last 4 minutes here. Up now 48-29, and Alarcon, of course, is out of the game with foul trouble, but it hasn't been any issue at this point for the Dolphins, but looks like Alarcon's going to check back in.
Dolphins now have a 10-rebound advantage in the game. They have attempted 14 more shots than Mercy College has so far, and they also lead in second chance points, 12-3. All of those areas should see a boost with Jenelise Alarcon returning to the floor, but her teammates did a great job with Alarcon forced to the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Masinga did a great job down low.
That's Katie Wall on the layup, and Mavericks back to within 17.
Those look like Masinga is getting tended to at the trainer's table. We'll see if we get an update on her later on.
That's LaFaro on the three-point attempt. I think the Mavericks may have touched it, but the official will say no. Masinga went to the bench with 11 rebounds, so she's 3 points shy of a double-double. This is Wall bringing it up for the Mavericks, and these next 90 seconds plus, huge for Mercy College, as Bender takes it all the way to the rim and can't finish, but it's poked out of bounds by Lambert, and that buys the Mavericks another possession.
Crucial here for the Mavericks to come away with some points to close out the third quarter.
Nudd up top to Wall. Now Stanovic in the corner. This is Bender. She thought about the jumper instead. Gives it up to Santos. Now Wall. Inside for Nudd. Left-handed hook, no good. Bank shot, rattles in, and Kelly Nudd gets on the board. Mavericks back to within 15.
First they don't succeed, try again, and eventually one will go in. That's what happened for Kelly Nudd there.
Nudd couldn't buy a basket in this third quarter as LaFaro tripped and went down. She turns it over. Mavericks have numbers, and Santos is open in the corner. They finally find her, but she gets the roll on the three. Mavericks back to within 12.
Wow. Santos wide open, wants the ball, gets it. Ball bounces high off the rim, but ends up going anyway. Great job there by Santos.
Arvello out to LaFaro. All of a sudden, Dolphins struggling as LaFaro coughs it up again. Santos finds Wall. She tries the three, and Mercy's back to within single digits.
LaFaro right now, Joe, slipping and sliding, and the Mavericks are taking advantage of it.
The Mavericks have come storming back here at the conclusion of this third quarter. I talked about how big the last 90 seconds of the quarter could be. I didn't have this in mind. As Johnson tries the mid-range shot, no good off the backboard, and the Mavericks close out the third quarter strong. They will head into the fourth, trailing by 9. Dolphins will have to make some adjustments heading into quarter number 4 as they were really discombobulated at the offensive end to wrap up quarter number 3. We will see if they can turn things around when we come back on the other side of this break. Our score after 3, CSI 48, Mercy College 39.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet. Mercy College ends the third quarter on a 10-0 run, punctuated by this play right here as they force yet another Dolphins turnover, and Katie Wall connects on the three-pointer from the left corner. A huge basket for the Mavericks to pull them back to within single digits. As the action resumes with CSI possessing the ball, and Masinge could not convert underneath. Here comes Bender, and she throws one in off the backboard. Count it, and the foul.
Mavericks bench extremely fired up right now, as there's a chance for a huge end one as Bender heads to the line.
What a tough shot by Tasha Bender as she took it coast to coast and threw it in off glass. Free throw is good by Bender, and the Mavericks are now back to within 6. We have a 2-possession game here at the Tank. What a turnaround for the Mavericks. Alarcon thought about the three, and that was nearly stolen as Arvelo was fouled, and you could see it, Nick. The Mavericks are energized. They are in the passing lanes, and as you said, the bench is fired up.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, on the other hand, are pressing right now. They were kind of sitting back on their strong lead, but they really could have put this one away. They didn't. They were missing a lot of shots, but now in crunch time here, they need to be more patient, a better shot selection, but this is not going to help here.
And we have another Dolphins turnover, this time in the form of a 3-second violation, and all of a sudden, CSI is going through quite the scoring drought here. I mentioned a 10-0 run for the Mavericks to end the third quarter. They've scored the first 3 here in the fourth, but it's been quite a while since the last Dolphins basket. Stanovic on the drive, and she lost it. And it looked like that was about to become an easy layup. Fortunate break there for the Dolphins.
Dolphins here need to start capitalizing on these opportunities and scoring on Mavericks turnovers.
The Dolphins' last made field goal came with 2:20 on the clock in the third quarter. This is Arvelo. Now Lambert with 15 to shoot. Johnson up top to Lambert. She will try the three, and she gets the friendly roll off the front rim. And Nick, that is the third time today we've seen a friendly bounce.
Luck be a lady tonight. Lucky Lambert there. Ashley with a great job. The lucky bounce and scores the three.
This is Nudd. Deep 2 is good, and the Mavericks are back to within 7.
Well, Joe, right now, we'll see if the Dolphins can hold off this run, but everything's going Mavericks' way offensively.
And Johnson can't get that shot to go. Mavericks heading back the other way. This is Bender, left open. That shot is short, and Alarcon able to chase it down, but unable to keep her feet in bounds.
Yeah, Joe, I thought that she was going to try to throw it off the Maverick defender there, but unable to. And the Mavericks will get the ball back.
Mavericks will inbound from the sideline. Bender is the inbounder. This is Wall. She gets screen from Nudd. Step back three is good, and Katie Wall is beginning to heat up.
Wall with a huge three-pointer. Mavericks now down by just 4.
Big shot after big shot for Mercy College as they are now within 4. Alarcon reels that pass in the corner and kicks out to Arvelo. She's left open for 3, and that rolls off the rim, no good.
Dolphins here having some trouble making the shots fall. Mavericks capitalizing.
This is Wall. She's beginning to take over this game for the Mavericks. Stanovic, 15 to shoot. Looking for Nudd. Had it poked away. She now tries the deep 2. That's an air ball, and Arvelo can't reel in the rebound.
Mavericks maintain possession. Esposito into the game for Johnson for the Dolphins.
We mentioned Katie Wall beginning to take over, and here's a look at that last make by Wall. A step-back three from the top of the arc. A huge basket for the Mavericks as Wall tries again. That one too strong. Nudd let the rebound get away. Alarcon to the floor. Jump ball is called as she was tied up by Talib.
Stay with the Mavericks here.
20 on the shot clock. As the officials are having a discussion right now. And they will confer. Not sure exactly what they want to check, but I did clip the last 30 seconds if they need it.
Well, Joe, looks like they might be coming your way.
I'm curious to find out what it is they're looking for. But
maybe they want to see if there was a foul before the jump ball, or if somebody was out of bounds. Other than that, I'm not sure what they could possibly be looking at, but
let's see.
Here they come. All right, and Joe's going to get the replay here ready for the officials. What they are looking for is to see right after the jump ball was called what exactly happened. So Joe's going to get that ready. He's going to slow it down, and we'll take a look here in live time with the referees what's happening. So you see there, as the jump ball is going, they're going for the jump ball right there. Player dives in, grabs the ball. That's where the jump ball is called. Continue to see what is happening here as the other player comes diving in, number 20, Kelly Nudd. And we'll continue to show the replay here. So as what you were seeing on your screen is exactly what the officials are seeing here in live time.
So Nick, what it looks like on that replay, it looks like Nudd grabbed Alarcon's left foot, and then Alarcon threw a right foot back at Nudd. That's what it looks like on the replay. We're going to get another look at it. As you see on your screen what the officials are looking at. So it looks like Nudd grabs Alarcon's left leg. They get tied up here. It looks like Nudd grabs Alarcon's left foot, and then Alarcon took exception and threw a right foot, which sent Nudd falling back. That's what the officials are looking at.
Well, it looks like Alarcon's probably going to get a foul there, and Nudd as well, but we're going to take another look here as another official comes over. I think it was the left foot that ended up hitting Nudd there.
The officials are huddled in front of our commentary desk right now. They're going to get another look at it. As Alarcon goes down to the floor, she grabs the rebound, and now you see right here, her foot winds up in the stomach of Nudd, who then grabs Alarcon's left ankle. Alarcon takes exception and uses the right leg to get Nudd off, and this could be trouble for Jenalise Alarcon here, Nick.
Yeah, I think that was her left leg that she ended up kicking with, because her right foot looked to be pinned underneath the Mercy defender there. But either way, I think there's going to be a foul assessed here to Alarcon. I wonder if they'll go with the game misconduct, though, Joe.
This could be very problematic for Jenalise Alarcon and the Dolphins, depending on what the officials rule in this spot. Now, I'm not exactly sure what type of flagrant foul that would be. But
as you could see, the officials huddled on your screen.
Good work there, Nick, as they are headed over to the scores table right now.
Both coaches heading over. Coach Sarcone will not like this call because there was no indication really that Alarcon was going to get a foul, but that seems to be what they were looking at.
It's an animated discussion, and Nicole Sarcone didn't look too happy with the official, but I think it would have been a more demonstrative reaction if she had just found out that Alarcon is out of the game. So it doesn't look like Alarcon will be disqualified for what transpired under the rim there.
Still, though, going to be her fourth foul. 7 minutes left here in a close game. She's going to have to go to the bench.
They might be headed back. We'll see.
Media timeout.
Media timeout.
Joe.
So we're headed to break. And Nick will reposition our camera. All right, Nick, the foul is called against Alarcon. Intentional foul on number 13 of Staten Island. So with that, we will take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, we'll sort all of this out, and it will be, I believe, Mavericks basketball underneath. So more to come. NCAA Division II women's basketball on the ECC Network in 30 seconds.
Car is damaged. Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4890.
And we're back here on the ECC Network as we await both teams taking the court to resume play with 6:54 on the clock in the third quarter. And that was quite the lengthy delay as the officials took a look at that last replay underneath. So we'll wind it back and get another look here as we'll play it in real speed. So once again, Genelise Alarcon chasing after the rebound underneath. And she got tied up. Her leg was grabbed, or at least it appeared so, by Nudd. And obviously that is not the right clipping of the replay. We'll have to move that back just a bit more. But again, the foul was charged to Alarcon. So free throws for Kelly Nudd. And the first free throw is good. So we'll play it again in real time after the second free throw, as Nudd goes 1 of 2. So here it is one more time. Alarcon to the floor, Nudd to the floor. Looked like Alarcon had a leg grabbed and then threw the opposite leg to get Nudd off of her.
I understand the inbound's coming from here when the jump ball was under the basket.
The official call was intentional foul on Genelise Alarcon, and that is a big call in a three-point game because that is Alarcon's fourth.
Right, but certainly better than a game misconduct. I would say in about 4 minutes we're going to see Alarcon come back in the game.
No doubt about that, Nick, as the Dolphins certainly don't want to be without Alarcon, especially now in a one-point game.
Yeah, Joe, it seems inevitable at this point that the Mavericks might take the lead here. They've come all the way back. They were down 19 at one point. It's now a one-point game, 51-50.
Really remarkable, Nick. They were down, if I'm not mistaken, 15. As Lambert hits a big three-pointer, and the Dolphins are back up by 4. But to my point, Nick, I believe they were down either 15 or 17 with just over 90 seconds to play in the third. And they just came within 1 point of taking the lead, or getting even, I should say, as Nudd is stripped. And here comes Masinge back the other way. Her pass deflected by Talib, and the Dolphins with a costly turnover. This is Wall for Bender. Three-pointer from the corner is an air ball, and Stanovic saves it right to Arvelo.
Arvelo smartly here, taking her time to advance the ball. Need to slow things down a bit here. Find a good shot.
This is Esposito. She finds Arvelo. Open corner three is good. And the Dolphins are back in front by 7.
Arvelo, incredible, with the big shot from the corner. A three-pointer, her 9th point of the game.
Stanovic pull up. And nothing but net. A huge shot for the Mavericks. They have the answer.
Big shot there by Stanovic. You remember, Joe, broke the scoring drought before when the Dolphins were holding the Mavericks scoreless for over 10 minutes.
CSI leads by 5. This is Esposito. She gets a screen from Masinge and heads the other way. Esposito to the rim, can't finish. Here comes Wall. Wall leads the way in scoring for the Mavericks with 15. She's hit some big shots in the midst of this Mercy comeback attempt. That's Nudd, and she rattles in a 3. Mavericks back down by 2.
Nudd with a huge three-pointer there to get the Mavericks back to only down 2.
Nudd and Wall showing good synergy on that last possession, and they've really begun to get it going during this Mercy comeback bid. This is Lambert, and she's fouled.
Lambert going to the free throw line here, Joe, with 2 big shots upcoming. If she misses these, Mavericks will have the chance to take the lead on the next possession.
Well, it is clear Mercy College does not intend to go away in this game. They have fought all the way back to within 2 points. And Ashley Lambert can't hit the first of 2 from the line. So the Mavericks will have a chance to either tie this game or take the lead if they can pull down the rebound or follow up a make with a basket of their own. And here we go.
Dolphins going offense for defense here, perhaps. Although Esposito's been really good defensively with the steals. However, Kaya Johnson's coming into the game for her here.
CSI leads Mercy by 3. This is Nudd back to the basket. Now Tedesco, who's played very limited minutes in this game, got into some foul trouble early. Bender hands off to Wall, 10 to shoot. Wall uses the screen and drives. Wide open layup is good by Katie Wall, and we have a 1-point game.
Yeah, Joe, you saw that Alarcon back in the game. She got out of the way on that one because she didn't want to foul out. They need her offensively here.
If I'm not mistaken, Alarcon's been completely shut out in the second half. Has not scored, has not grabbed a rebound. This is Masinge inside for Alarcon, and Genelise looks to change that here, but she cannot. And the Mavericks now have a chance to take the lead. 3:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. This is Nudd. She goes around the Tedesco screen. Left-handed layup, no good. Rebound by Tedesco, and she can't put it back in.
Mavericks bench all on their feet there, getting ready to erupt because they thought they were about to take the lead. And the men's basketball team for Mercy right behind them as well. Very into this.
CSI fans getting a bit restless here in the tank as Masinge kicks out to Lambert. Open three-pointer off back iron and knocked out of bounds by Nudd. It remains CSI basketball.
And we'll have a timeout here by the Dolphins. They'll have 2 remaining.
30-second timeout called by CSI. So we will stay right here as the Mercy College Mavericks have come storming back. It all began at the end of the third quarter. They trailed big with just over 90 seconds to play in quarter number 3. They have cut the Dolphins' lead to 1, and here's a look in part at how they were able to do that. As at the offensive end of the floor, Katie Wall and Kelly Nudd stepping up their game. Nudd had really struggled shooting the ball, but she connects on that big three-pointer right there. At the time, it pulled the Mavericks to within a pair. They now trail by just 1.
Yeah, Joe, tremendous performance by Scott Logista's team, able to come back here, make it a 1-point game.
For Mercy, Wall has 17. Nudd has 17. And the Dolphins nearly coughed that ball up in front of their own bench. Masinge has 15 to shoot, and she is called for traveling. No doubt about that one, though. It looked like the Mavericks might have gotten a hand in there.
It was close, Joe. The fans behind us don't like the call, but the Mavericks now have the opportunity to take their first lead here of the game.
And Masinge a bit shaken up here as she limps off the floor.
Masinge was with the trainer earlier. Trainer doesn't appear to be courtside right now, but I assume she gets some attention. The trainer is with Masinge.
Bender for the lead. No good. Fight for the rebound. It goes to Talib. She goes up over Alarcon. It rolls out. And a Dolphins foul is charged to Ashley Lambert as Tedesco once again grabbed the offensive rebound. And with 2 free throws, the Mavericks can take the lead.
Boy, oh boy, Joe. We did not see this coming back in the first half, but kudos to the Mavericks as Tedesco heads to the line here to tie the game.
And we are tied at 58. The Mavericks outscoring the Dolphins here in the fourth quarter, 19-10. They outscored CSI in the third, 22-17. And Mercy College has taken the lead.
Dolphins now playing from behind. Only 2 minutes left here.
Open three for Lambert, and she rattles it in. Huge shot by Ashley Lambert.
it's time to acknowledge the one and only Ashley Lambert with another huge three.
Lambert has been huge these last few trips down the floor for CSI as Tedesco misses off another offensive rebound. She took a shot underneath, no whistle. Here come the Dolphins, and they throw it away. Talib with the steal, but Esposito chases the play down from behind and saves it to Alarcon.
Tremendous defense there, Joe. Amazing job by Esposito to steal that one.
Great hustle there by Esposito. This is Lambert, 15 to shoot. Lambert looks to drive. Esposito, three-pointer, no good. Rebound tipped in the air and pulled in by Nudd. 2-point game inside of 1 minute and 20 seconds to go from the tank. This is Wall, defended by Lambert. Wall looks to drive. She gets right to the rim and banks it in. Tie game.
Joe, not much defense being played there. Wall goes all the way to the glass. Tie game here, under a minute left to play, and the Dolphins will take their second to last timeout.
Katie Wall off the window to tie the score as we are knotted up at 61, and here's a look at that last make by Wall. She has been huge for Mercy College here in the second half. Right there, gets the screen, then takes Lambert all the way to the rim. And you said it before, Nick, Alarcon just cannot play the same aggressive defense with playing with 4 fouls.
Absolutely, Joe, and if we're headed to overtime, she's going to have to continue to play conservatively here. But the Mavericks know that, so they've been attacking her. So we'll see what happens here. Alarcon's certainly going to be in here for the rest of this game, you would think. If she fouls out, she fouls out. It's going to happen. Only thing you could think of is if offensively here they score and the Mavericks call a timeout to draw up the last play perhaps, maybe you see Brianna Moore come in just for one defensive play to kind of clog up the lane. But that's to be determined. Obviously, it all comes down to how the Dolphins play this offensive possession, which is an absolute must-score for them.
Well, you can see the frustration on Alarcon's face as she sits on the Dolphins bench, and she knows she can't play the same brand of basketball with 4 fouls. And right now, she is the only Dolphin with 4 fouls. But on the other side, Katie Wall has 4 personal fouls. So 2 key players, 1 for each team within 1 foul of fouling out of this game. And both will have to play very carefully at the defensive end of the floor. Inside of 1 minute to play, score tied at 61. This is Esposito. She was the hero on Saturday who tied the game at the end of regulation. Alarcon looking to drive, back to the basket, and the bank shot is good. Jennalise Alarcon scores her first points of the second half, and the Dolphins lead by 2.
Absolutely tremendous there by Alarcon to make that basket. Now 41 seconds remaining here, so theoretically, Joe, if the Mavericks score here, the Dolphins should at least get the ball back one more time. And we'll take a replay here as Alarcon takes it from downtown, 3-point range, drives with the right hand, lays it up and in to give the Dolphins the lead, 63-61 with 41.2 seconds remaining.
Well, I mentioned it before, Nick. Up until that point, Alarcon had been shut out in the second half, but right now, no basket in this game is bigger than that one. But we saw it on Saturday. She's not the only Dolphin who can be relied upon for clutch shooting. Esposito with a game-tying 3. Masinge with a game-tying layup. Arvelo with huge shots to open up the second overtime. And Ashley Lambert here in this fourth quarter has been tremendous for the Dolphins. There's really no one player you can key in on if you're the Mavericks.
Certainly not. And there, Alarcon took advantage of that. Nobody knew where the ball was going. She got the ball. All the teammates were spread out. She saw an open lane, took advantage of it there. Now, on the other hand here, for the Mavericks, you would think either Katie Wall is going to be spotting up here for an open shot, or Kelly Nutt will be getting the ball in the paint. If it is the case, we will see how aggressive Alarcon is defensively to stop the shot.
Now, I'm very curious to see, Nick, if the Mavericks have a play diagram to try and go 2 for 1 here, they'd have to put up a shot within the first 5 seconds or so, but a 2 for 1 is a possibility. We will see if they choose to play it that way. This is Wall, handoff from Nudd. She thought about the drive and picks up her dribble, and Nudd now has it, the 2 for 1 opportunity gone. This is Wall, She takes it toward the rim. Kick out. Open three for Bender. No good. Rebound in the air and pulled in by Tedesco. Kick out for Wall. Open three is good. And the Mavericks lead by 1.
Wow, Joe. Excellent effort there by the Mavericks to rebound that and get the ball back. I thought it was close. I didn't know exactly if the ball was on, if the foot was in the line. I thought it was a 2-pointer, Joe. Sure, you got the replay queued up, but it doesn't seem like the referees are coming to take a look at all.
Well, Nick, that was my thought exactly, which is why I gave you the hand signal that we were about to take another look at it. I thought she had a toe on the line. It's going to be very tough for us to see.
And let's remember that the women's line is in more, so it's going to be on the brown where the three-point line is. We'll see if we can get a clear look, but that was my initial thought on the shot as well.
Let's see. That's a three. No doubt about it, Nick.
She's behind the line.
An indictment on my eyesight here as Wall buries the three-pointer, and the Dolphins now trail for the first time in this game with 22.5 seconds remaining.
Well, what do you do here, Joe? Do you try to get the first available shot, or do you hold it? I think you got to try to shoot it and then take your chances, because Alarcon and Masinge have been very good on the offensive glass here today.
You have to try and shoot if you're the Dolphins. Maybe you draw a foul, go ahead on free throws, or at the very least even up the game at the line. But if you don't score here and shoot quickly enough, you can still get the ball down the floor after a potential free throw attempt by the Mavericks.
And not the worst idea here if the Mavericks want to foul. They have the fouls to give.
Lambert will try the three, and she does not get the roll. Fight for the rebound, and Masinge went down. It will be Mavericks basketball as Masinge fell down to the floor very awkwardly there. That did not look good, but
looked like she did a crazy sort of split there, which was rough. And
now I'm not even sure we can see into the corner.
I don't think so.
On our main camera. No, we can't see it. I'm taking a look at the replay now.
Yeah, but Joe, even if the Dolphins foul here, which they have to, they still have fouls to give. But they got to try to foul, I think, to get the Mavericks to the line so they get the ball back with at least a chance to tie it on a three-pointer.
Well, Alarcon better not be the one who fouls as Johnson gives the foul. Well, without any timeouts, and like you said, Nick, the Dolphins having to foul multiple times, it's going to be tough here for CSI. There were about 22 and a half seconds left when CSI used their final timeout to advance the ball as Johnson gives the foul, and that will put the Mavericks in the bonus.
So we'll head to the line here.
There's certainly enough time for the Dolphins to dribble the length of the floor. The only question is, will it be a 2-point deficit or a 3-point deficit?
Yeah.
If CSI gets possession back, the only way they wouldn't get it is if the Mavericks grab an offensive rebound on this free throw.
Esposito checking in here. Obviously, she'll be getting the ball with the chance to tie it. Well, history repeat itself, Joe. It'll be a little deja vu here in back-to-back games at home for the Dolphins as Esposito checks in. Most likely she'll get the ball either off the rebound here or off the make. She'll dribble at the length of the court if possible, and she's most likely going to be the one who takes the huge shot here to keep the Dolphins alive.
This game following a very similar script to Saturday's game, but unfortunately for the Dolphins right now, they are the team that has surrendered the comeback. And the Dolphins will be trailing by at least 2 points if they get it back. One more to come from the line for Katie Wall, and she has been huge here in this fourth quarter. Chance to put her team up by 3. Second free throw by Wall is no good, and the Dolphins trail by a pair. Here comes CSI, 6 seconds remaining. Handoff to Lambert. She crosses over right, throws one up off of the shot clock. And
Joe, they had time there. They didn't have to take the 3 off the missed free throw. And that's going to do it here. An extremely disappointing loss, but we'll take a replay here first. Check the time, Joe.
All right, so they're going to take a look and see how much time should be on the clock. We'll try and cue that up for them very quickly.
Well, if the backboard hit, it should probably be around 1.2 or 1.3 or so, but we'll take a look here as you get that queued up for the officials and for everybody else here on the broadcast.
What you see on your screen is what the officials are looking at. they're going to check how much time should be on the clock.
At 1.8, looks like. We'll take a look one more time. But I believe it will be 1.8. Well, Joe, the Dolphins squandered this one. They were up big, but unfortunately, they're going to drop this one. Huge come-from-behind victory for the Mercy Mavericks.
The only way CSI would have an opportunity is off of a stolen inbound. So if the Mavericks can get the ball in without turning it over, this game is over.
I thought they decided on 1.8 seconds, but it looks like it's going to be so it's going to be 0.2. They need to check. They need to fix the clock here. If it's 1.8, they have to get the steal, and they can lay it up and in. That's it. Even if they foul, there's not going to be enough time to get a shot off.
They're taking care of that clock on the other side of the floor right now. 1.8 on the clock. Mavericks will inbound. And a foul is called. Now, will they check to see how much time was on the clock when the foul was called?
I don't think so, Joe. But 2 free throws here, and this one is done. Obviously, if they miss one, it's going to be very challenging to get a shot off a rebound.
Well, if you're the Dolphins, you have to hope that they miss the first,
right,
and ideally make the second. I think you missed the second on purpose, potentially. Not after making the first, but
3-point game here. Nobody there. Defense.
And that'll do it.
Yep, no shot here. Unless there's a foul on the 3-point attempt, but no shot taken. And an unbelievable comeback for the Mercy College Mavericks as they pull off the victory, 67-63.
Well, that makes back-to-back tremendous games here from the Tank. Last time we were on the air this past Saturday, it was the Dolphins who came back to pick up the victory. They trailed by almost 20 points in that game, came all the way back and won it in double overtime. Today, the Mavericks trailed, I believe, by as many as 19. They come all the way back and win it by 4. They did not lead until the closing minutes of this fourth quarter. Katie Wall with a huge game for Mercy College. She had 23 points, and Kelly Nudd really stepped up down the stretch. She finishes with 19 in the Mavericks' victory. And Nick, for the Dolphins, this has to be an incredibly disappointing loss, no doubt. But CSI has begun to play much more competitive games, have really been pushing their conference foes to the limit, and that's a very positive development for the CSI team.
Yeah, Joe, kind of got unlucky there with some foul trouble. Alarcon was dominating the game, and then she couldn't anymore with her foul troubles, and an unfortunate, heartbreaking victory for the Dolphins. But hats off to the Mavericks for that tremendous comeback. But as you see now, the men's team's taking the court, so don't go anywhere. And coming up in a little bit, we'll be right back on the air for Mavericks versus Dolphins Part 2, but men's basketball.
A thrilling start to tonight's East Coast Conference doubleheader. More to come. Nick and I return to the air in approximately 10 or 15 minutes for the back half of tonight's conference doubleheader. The men of CSI take on the men of Mercy College. That game is coming up next right here on the ECC Network. Visit CSIDolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet, and you can tune in, or of course, head on to your smart device and visit the ECC Network app for our broadcast of the men's game. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst from all of us here at the College of Staten Island. Thank you for watching. Be sure to join us in just a few minutes for more NCAA Division II basketball coming up next.